Yes, this is Grand Finals. Alright, now we got as you've heard it said on other videos before, Video Game Boot Camp's very own.
All right, so we're about to see what is arguably the best Marth in the world, right up there with Mewtwo King, right up there with, you know, any old Joe in your neighborhood that's playing Marth that you think is the best in the world.
Yeah.
We've got Kevin, Dr. PP, Nanny on the blue Marth, the same Marth that four-stock Mewtwo King and Marth Dittos at Apex 2014 just recently this past month. So, I mean, this Marth is fresh from the highest level of play possible. It's going to be really hard for Mike to have any kind of control or any kind of real stage presence unless he establishes it, you know, very dominantly and kind of keeps PP in a defensive play. But that's just not the kind of stuff you would normally see from Kevin Marth, especially at a NC local. So it's going to be hard to even get him close to that mindset, just like I said earlier, the talent gap in NC.
It's one of those matches where, while Mike, you know he can still do things because he's still better than most people in the state, you still just kind of want to see what Kevin's going to do sometimes.
Right.
Good tech chase. I've been getting a lot of those.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's going to be really hard for Mike to get away from any of this. Down air, beautiful down air. I think we are, probably looking at a quick 3-0 here.
Most likely. However,
this might be a good time for us to talk about some NC lore, maybe. The origins of Stack It Up, I want to clarify. I've actually seen, this is actually something really good for me to talk about, you know? So, recently Dr. PP did an AMA, our friend Kevin did an AMA about, just hit post-Apex winnings and, stuff like that. And one of the questions that I saw asked very commonly, or at least, where does Stack It Up come from? What does Stack It Up mean? So, earlier in one of the sets from this tournament, I was talking about how Stack It Up is an NC thing and how it's not really 100% a Kevin thing. But basically, a long time ago, there was a player named Forrest Griffin, a.k.a. Twig, and he was a Sheik player who was pretty high up in the community, what you would consider, one of the top three back in 2006-ish, really young in the game, 2008, 2007, MLG era Sheik, basically. And Kevin was just kind of coming into the community at this time, so, this was back when Kevin was playing Mario at outdoor GameStop tournaments, he was losing, getting started. Kevin was nowhere near, the head of the NC Melee community. And this other Smasher, whose name is Chris Knorr, is also part of the origin of Stack It Up, and you've probably heard Kevin talk about him in Screw Attack videos where he explains the origin of Stack It Up. But essentially, they were at the movie theater, and
they were in line.
They were in line to see a movie. They were in line to see a movie, and the guys in front of them, these couple black guys, were standing in line getting popcorn, and they were like $5 for some popcorn. They were upset about movie theater costs. So they turn around to Forrest looking for some kind of validation in this outrage of $5 for some popcorn. And Twig looks at them. He couldn't think of anything else to say, and he says, "Stack it up." And the guy at the movie theater just goes, "Hell yeah!" And he gets a large. So I mean, just that kind of thing happening, the amount of hype that came from that, it just became an NC meme. And then a couple years later, it was one of those things kind of like Good Shit Eddie, or You're Not Even Good, or Shut Up Craig, where everybody in NC was just saying it for a while. Stack it up, like Stack It Up. It wasn't really a chant, but then at the tournament called Herb 2, Stack it up, I'm about to go play Lazar and brag it. All right, man, go stack it up. Well, basically, when it became a chant was at Herb 2. It had been experimented with as a chant before then, but this is really the first instance of it being recorded and a lot of people doing it. Chris Knorr had this big fake beard on.
He was pretending
to be Tope back when Tope had this big, crazy beard.
Oh!
And Knorr put this fake beard on, and Lazar and PP were playing versus Chew and Chillin', right?
Chew and Mewtwo King.
Chew and Mewtwo King Grand Finals. And Chris Knorr just stands up and starts doing this ridiculous dance, and he starts chanting, "Stack it up, stack it up." And before you knew it, everybody in the venue was doing this dance and screaming, "Stack it up." So that's a brief history, the origin of Stack It Up, as explained to you by MrBeenReady and Lucas Portnoy. Just two guys who know about it from some guys.
Some other guys.
You know, like, it goes back, it's older than the dawn of, you know, MC, you know, whatever, you know? Like I said, this was invented back when Kevin, you know, wasn't even close to being a top player.
Melee was still in beta.
Melee was in closed beta back then.
Alright. Again, a 2 stock. Oh wait, it's not over.
So the really cool thing about Kevin's marth is the way sometimes he'll play it as if it's almost like Falco, and you can kind of see through the shades of the play.
Yeah, the way he sort of just like pauses and like just is very, very precise with those aerials before he does attacks. I don't know how much that says about Falco as much as it says about Kevin's Falco, but it's basically the same thing at this point.
It's really just Kevin as a player.
Yeah.
Meant to be.
Mike once compared being in the same state as Kevin as being Zoo losing to Mango at every SoCal tournament. It was just clear that he was probably better than everybody else, but he just happened to be the best player in the state. So. Oh!
One of the problems that you'll see with NC tournaments is that you have your 4th and 5th place matches, and those are the hypest because anybody could win those, you know? Like, anybody could do anything in those matches. Whereas in grand finals, it's pretty much like, oh, if Kevin just, even if Kevin was even remotely threatened, he could just go Falco here, you know? So, while I gotta respect
So to be
Mike,
fair, it is getting closer.
Yeah.
Everything is getting progressively
well,
closer.
as the game goes on, I mean, there will one day be a day when we're all like 45 and we're still playing this bullshit game,
And we're all
we
going
just
2-1
all know
versus
about it, and we all just are on the same level of play, and we're all playing space animals.
Maybe 4-star. Let's see if he'll do it.
And this will be a really definitive way to end this set.
Oh! Dirty. Kevin bows to the crowd.
And that's all she wrote for tonight, folks. I mean,
she
grand
couldn't
finals.
figure out what else to write. She had writer's block.
Grand effing finals. 80 entrants.
Of every
Dr.
single
PP
NC
taking
tournament.
home. Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
that's a big shit.
Dr. PP taking home the gold 100% on an 80-person tournament. Incredible.
Good shit.
Yo!
DJ saying you're just one of us, Mike.
If you want a money match, now's the time. Not me, but if you have something cool to do here, this is the time. We've got to record it. We've got to record it. Or we could do it right here, can we?